Welcome back to the podcast de Philippe. You know this is the place to be if you want to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, today we're going to dive deep into a topic that's straight out of a science fiction movie. We're talking about morphing wheels.
Yeah. These things are incredible.
I mean, seriously, wheels that change their shape on demand.
Right. Wild. And it's not just some futuristic fantasy either. This tech is actually being developed.
I know I saw some pretty mind-blowing videos online, but before we get too carried away with all the possibilities, let's take a step back.
Sure.
Can you break down how these morphing wheels actually work? What's the science behind them?
Well, the researchers over at the Korea Institute of Machinery and Materials, they were inspired by nature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they looked at how water droplets maintain their form while adapting to different surfaces.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's called biomimicry. So they applied that concept to wheel design, and what they came up with is basically a wheel with like this chain-like outer rim.
Okay, so like a bunch of interconnected blocks or something.
Exactly. And all those blocks are connected to the central hub by metallic spokes.
Okay, I'm picturing, so how does it actually change shape then?
Well, they have this system that adjusts the distance between the two sides of the axle.
So the axle basically like expands and contracts.
Sort of. And by doing that, it changes the length of the spokes.
Yeah.
And that's how the wheel morphs.
So it can go from like rigid to flexible on the fly? That's insane.
Yeah, and that's what allows it to overcome obstacles and handle different terrains.
You know, I can't help but think about all the videos we've seen of robots struggling to like climb stairs or navigate rough terrain. Could this be like the solution they've been waiting for?
Absolutely. You're spot on. This technology could revolutionize robotics as we know it. I mean, think about it. Robots that are way more agile and versatile.
Wow.
Yeah, and think about disaster relief robots that can, like, navigate rubble after an earthquake or, robots helping out in, like, industrial settings or whatever. The potential is huge.
It's mind-blowing.
Mm.
But let's shift gears a little bit. You mentioned wheelchairs earlier. How could morphing wheels impact people with mobility limitations?
Well, imagine a wheelchair that can seamlessly transition from pavement to grass to gravel, even go up and down curbs and stairs without needing a ramp.
Wow.
That's the kind of freedom and independence this technology could offer.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, that would be life-changing for so many people.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this innovation so exciting.
It really is. But, we got to be realistic too, right?
Yeah.
What about durability?
Mm.
Can these complex mechanisms withstand the wear and tear of everyday use?
That's one of the big challenges researchers are working on. They're exploring like protective coverings and durable materials for future versions.
Because, I mean, think about it. Potholes, dirt, debris, all that stuff.
Exactly. So finding the right balance between flexibility and resilience is key.
That sounds like a tough nut to crack.
It is. But, with every groundbreaking innovation comes challenges. And this one is no different.
But hey, the potential benefits here, they're too significant to ignore.
For sure. We've been talking a lot about the practical side of things, but let's not forget about the environmental impact.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sustainability is always a big factor.
Exactly. So with these morphing wheels, you're looking at reduced energy consumption because of lower rolling resistance.
Okay, rolling resistance. Remind me what that is again.
It's basically the force that, opposes the motion of a rolling object.
Yeah, I remember.
So less resistance means less energy wasted, right?
Right.
Which is a good thing, especially for electric vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Morphing wheels could be a huge win for the EV industry.
Absolutely. Smaller carbon footprint for sure.
Definitely. And, it's not just about the energy savings either.
Right.
A wheel that adapts to different terrains, it's going to experience less wear and tear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So potentially it could have a longer lifespan.
Exactly. Fewer replacements, less waste in the long run.
So it's like a more sustainable approach all around.
Yeah.
From manufacturing to
Do
consumption.
you think so?
It's pretty crazy how one innovation can have such a ripple effect across so many different areas.
It really shows you how interconnected everything is. We've talked about the hardware, the durability, but the software, the control systems, they're just as important.
Oh yeah, for sure. The brains behind the operation.
Exactly.
The wheel needs to know how to respond to different surfaces.
Yeah.
Make adjustments in real time.
Right. And it all has to happen seamlessly to ensure a smooth and safe ride.
So it's not just about mechanics anymore. There's this whole layer of artificial intelligence involved.
You got it. It's like a fusion of mechanical engineering and software development.
Fascinating stuff. We were talking about accessibility earlier, and it made me think we focused on wheelchairs. But this tech could revolutionize other mobility devices too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Scooters, walkers, even prosthetic limbs, potentially.
Imagine a world where mobility limitations don't hold people back anymore.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful vision, a more inclusive and accessible future for everyone.
And it's not just about assisting people with disabilities either.
Right.
Think about like search and rescue robots in disaster zones,
Oh, yeah, that's a great example. A robot that can navigate rubble easily to reach trapped survivors.
or robots exploring extreme environments like mountains or other planets.
Precisely. The possibilities are endless.
It's like we're on the verge of a whole new era in mobility.
I think so.
And it's all thanks to this shape-shifting marvel of engineering.
It really is remarkable.
It makes you wonder what other seemingly impossible ideas are out there just waiting to be discovered.
It's a testament to human ingenuity, our drive to push boundaries and solve problems.
Couldn't agree more. And with technologies like the morphing wheel, the future looks incredibly bright.
I'm excited to see what comes next.
Me too.
Yeah.
But even though we're feeling all this optimism, it's important to acknowledge the challenges that come with implementing such a revolutionary technology.
Hmm.
I mean, we've talked about durability, software, all that good stuff. But what about the cost?
Yeah, that's a really important point.
I mean, from morphing wheels to become like mainstream,
Yeah,
they got to be affordable, right?
exactly. And like with any emerging tech, the initial production costs are going to be high.
Makes sense.
But as manufacturing processes get more efficient and, we start seeing economies of scale, those prices will come down.
Right.
And then they'll become more accessible to, a wider range of users.
It's not just about inventing the technology, it's about making it practical for everyday people.
Exactly.
It's got to be a team effort.
Hmm.
Researchers, manufacturers, policymakers, all working together to bring this innovation to the masses.
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing when you think about it. We started with this like simple concept, a wheel that changes shape.
Right.
And now we're talking about transforming industries,
Yep.
improving lives. It's pretty incredible.
And that's the power of innovation, isn't it?
Yeah, like a ripple effect spreading outwards.
Mm-hmm.
From transportation to robotics to sustainability to accessibility.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, for everyone listening out there, what's the key takeaway from all this? What should they remember about these morphing wheels?
Well, I think it's a reminder that we're living in an era of like mind-blowing technological advancements.
Right.
Things that seemed impossible just a few years ago are becoming a reality, and this is just one example.
And it's a perfect example of human ingenuity, our constant desire to solve problems, push the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely. It's not about just creating cool gadgets.
Right.
It's about making a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. Improving lives, creating a better future for everyone.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of morphing wheels,
Yeah.
I want to leave you all with a little something to think about.
Correct.
What other applications can you envision for this technology? How might it impact your life in the years to come? Maybe you'll be driving a car, riding a bike, even walking with the help of morphing wheels someday. The possibilities are truly endless. Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery, and until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.